Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. Happy New Year to everyone. I cannot believe that we are already in 2025 onto a brand new year. So in this video, I'm going to show you all of the dividends I received in the month of December, not only from this portfolio, but my other investments as well. I know I concentrate on this portfolio, which is about 15% of my total net worth. And the purpose of this portfolio is more for income generation, even though it does appreciate in cost, or actually in worth. Here we can see over the last year, just take a look at how the portfolio has gone up, and just like the total market, this portfolio has gone up as well. You can see the money weighted return over the last year is 16.86%. And then with dividends included, it's at 21.53%. And if you're curious to see what's all in this portfolio, I'll leave a link below so you can see what's in the slices. You'll get to see a lot of what's in the portfolio with what dividends paid in December, as most of the companies within the portfolio pay in the last month of each quarter, and December is the last month of Q4. So let's go ahead to the activity log, and we're going to just filter this by activity type dividends, because I like to show you guys the actual proof. I know there's a lot of YouTubers who will just read off of a spreadsheet, and they're not actually showing you the money that they actually receive. So I like to show you guys the actual proof to show you that I'm actually invested in these companies and I'm actually receiving these dividends, and they've been growing dividends. I'll show you that too after I go through these. So we'll go through these one by one, read them off, and then we'll go to my Google Docs spreadsheet, and then we will kind of do some historicals as well and go back in time. And I started doing these videos starting in January 2021, so it's been 4 years of making videos over this portfolio. So first up, we have Kroger on the 2nd of December that paid me $5.24, and then Black Hills $25.77, Pinnacle West $8.37, and then Aflac $7.49. Looks like they split it into another dividend, so an additional $3. And then those are all on December 2nd, all those paychecks there. So then December 6th, Southern Company paid me $7.22, and then Amgen on the 9th paid $13.86, Exxon on the 10th paid $12.50, and then on the 12th, Home Depot paid $10.02, and then Microsoft on the 12th also $6.53. Then on the 12th, also Prudential paid $47.65, and then on the 13th, Avista $26.96, then Yum $7.23, O Realty, that's a monthly payer, paid $13.23, and then on the 16th, there's a whole bunch on the 16th, starting with Coca-Cola $10.73, and then McDonald's $13.93, and then Hershey's paid $10.49. Duke Energy $14.63, and then here's the big one, SCHD on the 16th, $946.15, and then on the 19th, Qualcomm paid $7.23, on the 20th, Waste Management $7.52, and then on the 23rd, BlackRock $10.88, and then here's another monthly pair, BST $499.19, and then Lockheed Martin on the 27th paid me $5.34, and then Nvidia, this is my lowest paying one, but this is more of a growth play. So Nvidia paid 40 cents, and then Union Pacific on the 30th $5.90. Then on the 31st, last day of the month, yesterday, FNF paid $10.77, and then Travelers $4.84, and then Broadcom again, where it split the dividend, $7.68 plus 59 cents. So let's go on go on over to my Google Docs spreadsheet, and over here is where I track all of my companies here, and you can see here by company, ticker symbol, and then the share price using the Google Finance function to pull that price. And then here's the average share price I've paid for each of these. And then here's the number of shares owned, the current value if I were to sell today. And then here's my cost basis, and then my gain or loss. And then here is the gain or loss expressed in a percentage. Anything above 25% will be in green. Here is the quarterly dividend with some monthly payers, which are in blue. You can see O and BST in there. And then here is the current yield. For example, like Black Hills, if you're to buy more shares of Black Hills, here's the current yield. Here's the yield on my cost. And then here is the pay date. Everything on the sheet is arranged by the current pay date. So once PNC announces their new dividend, I'll put it in and then resort this sheet. And it'll put PNC 3 months later, put it into February. And then we have Black Hills. You can see here that was the first one I paid, and I read off all of these one by one. You can see the next dividend. The reason why the next dividend is larger than the dividend is because I dripped the dividends right back into these companies, and some of them I bought after the ex-dividend date, but in March we can see what the next dividend is going to be for these companies. So I'll total these all up, and I'll show you here what we got as a total. So the total for December, and this is just for this portfolio only, I'll show you my other dividends as well as interest from savings accounts. So we'll do a total of everything. So this portfolio alone paid $1,750.54. Let's take a look at what the next dividend is going to be. And I know it's not going to be exact because SCHD historically pays a lower dividend in Q1, but let's just take a look at if SCHD paid the same dividend, we would be getting $1,777.87. So even more dividends are expected in March, but of course that hinges upon SCHD's dividend. We'll see what they do. If it's going to be less, chances are it's going to be less than the approximately 26 cents. But I've been buying more shares of SCHD. Hopefully that will lessen the blow on what's going to be probably a lower dividend in March for SCHD. So we'll just go down. I'll show you things that this also tracks. You can see here's the total value of the portfolio, my cost basis. Here's the gain or loss. And then I have to put it in a monthly array for the monthly paying stocks for BST and O, because I have to add them in twice, because on this sheet right here it only shows them once, but to get the quarterly dividends I have to add them in twice, and that's what I do with H60. Over here that's H60, totaling those monthly dividends, adding them in 2 more times to get the quarterly, and that's how we get the monthly, quarterly, and annual here. And then we'll show next. Let's go on over to historicals. We'll go to the Dividend Tracker tab. And I've been doing these videos, like I said before, since January 2021. And here's the portfolio value 4 years ago at $18,700. Here's the dividends paid in January. We'll scroll down to where we're at right now. We'll do some comparisons. So December 2024. Here's the dividends of $17.50.54, like I showed before. And the portfolio value rounded to the nearest $100. We're at $270,100. You can see though there was a drop from November 2024, how we've gone down almost $10,000 just in this portfolio alone. That does not concern me whatsoever, because I'm going to keep on buying into this portfolio in 2025 and beyond. And we're going to see new highs. We're going to crack the $280,000 mark likely in 2025. We'll see. We don't know. We could keep on going down a little bit as we have in December, or we could go up and down as we've seen let's just take a look at the last year, how we've kind of gone up then down, then up then down. It's just kind of almost like a pulse rate, but you can see overall how the portfolio has, if you could just draw a line, it has gone up as we've gone to the right, with some down trends as well. You can see we're in the 265 just in December 19th, and we went up again to almost the mid 270s again, but then down again. But we'll see what is in store in 2025. We really haven't seen really any big declines in the portfolio. So again, it's just been really up and to the right, which is not really sustainable to have money weighted returns of 16% every year going forward. That's just, it's not possible. So we'll see what 2025 has in store. It could be like 2024, or we could go down a few percentages. We'll see what happens. But let's just compare the dividends from December 2023, though, with the 1750 compared to the 1550. So it's been over $200 in gains just over the last year. And we'll go back to December 2022. We're at 1268, so much higher. We're up nearly $500 over a couple years ago. And we can see how the average monthly dividend has been rising as well over the $1,000 mark. We can see in December too how we've made good gains with the month-over-month gain. And just take a look at the annual dividends. Now we're getting close to 12.5 or at 12.4, but we're getting close to that. And I have not made big deposits in. Let's take a look at what I deposited in 2024. So it'd be 38. So 38 down. So I only put in $9,400. I mean, only, in quotation marks. I know not everyone can contribute that much to their portfolio, but historically, though, I've put in more money, so I've kind of slowed it down. But we can see, though, the growth of the portfolio has been quite nice from January 2024 up to now 270,000. So it's been a nice gain there. So let's go on over to the total net worth statement that I have, and I'll go over the other dividends as well. And chances are you probably saw my Vanguard portfolio where I went over all the dividends received from my Vanguard IRA and taxable brokerage account. Well, we'll go over the rest of my net worth, which is in Vanguard over here, with these ETFs right here and my 401k. And then here over at M1, I have an IRA as well. And here's the taxable brokerage account right here on this line item. So let's scroll over here. I'm going to show you the dividends received from all sources. So you can see at Vanguard VYM paid $41.71, and then VTI that was $822.45, and then VXUS $333.45. And then VXUS in the IRA, that Roth paid $116.72. And then over my taxable brokerage account, VU paid $144.39. And then VUG paid $12.11. And then VTSAX that paid $288.83. And then VYM in the taxable paid $931. And then VXUS taxable paid $638.45. And then here were my dividends in my 401k in the S&P 500 with Fidelity, $352.29. And then here were the dividends paid in my M1 Finance IRA. VU paid $830.95. VTI paid $715.83. SCHD paid $1468.85. Then BST over on my IRA paid $449.87. Here were the dividends again from the dividend portfolio that we went over here at $1750.54, and also including interest from an M1 savings account, $204.09. And then Synchrony, I have another savings account that paid $84.57. And then my Capital One checking, 7 cents. And then Capital One savings account, $39.62. So let's get a total from all sources. So I could just draw this once I'm 59 and a half. I could draw this without selling a single share or withdrawing a single dollar from my savings. $8,304.10, which is outstanding. You can see here I also track my W-2 income and then subtract out expenses. I like to track this to see, what my lifestyle cost me, because in retirement I need to know what that is. But the bad news here is I only had a gap with my W-2 and expenses of $119.48. You can see other months I had a much nicer gap. Just the month prior was much better, and especially like September and August I had really good months. I had a work bonus in here. You can see how my W-2 went higher, and just here I had lower expenses and was able to have a much nicer gap. And then you can see here my net worth, how that went down from November to December, and that's just because the stock market went down. But let's go back in time to November of 2022. You can see how much higher though my net worth is now compared to November 2022 to now December 2024. So just look how that's gone up. It's gone up over $500,000 there. So very nice indeed. So I mean, this is incredible to have these dividends from all sources. So in about 8 years I'll have access to this, and I can guarantee 5 years from now my dividends are going to be much higher to draw from. It's going to be well over the $10,000 mark. So that will be nice to have access to that. Of course, I'm not going to get $10,000 every single month from this portfolio, but I will every 3 months, and it's going to be higher than this, higher than 10,000. Of course, November in 5 years from now is going to be higher as well. So let me know in the comments below what your dividends were, if you feel comfortable sharing them for the month of December. I couldn't be happier with the amount of dividends that I received in total. So thanks again for sticking to the end of the video. If you got value from the video, please click the like button. Also subscribe so you do not miss future videos. My next video, I'm going to go over my December budget. I'll go over line by line my expenses. We'll compare this and go over the gap and things like that. And I really encourage others to track your spending, because if you don't know what your life is costing you, there's no way you're going to know what your gap is, and you have to have a gap to invest that to build